Round 7 of the Easykart UK Championship here from Buckmore Park. It's the lights class up next, and someone who joins me is a person who had 2 podiums at round 5, Amy Jurga. Amy, tell us about round 5.
Oh, GYG was really good. I was fast both days, in the wet and in the dry. It was quite unexpected, but then at Clay, the engine sort of just fell apart, so we've had to replace it for this round, so it should be a lot better now.
And that was, of course, last time out at round 6 as well. And how did you get into karting? What was your background?
Someone I knew, they raced, and they just invited me along once, and I really enjoyed it, so just went from there.
Fantastic. And of course, getting later on into the season as well, round 7, penultimate round. How's things looking for the championship?
Well, I had to miss a round because of my GCSEs, but I should be able to get 8th, so that's what I'm aiming for.
Fantastic. And Buckmore Park here in Kent as well. It must be a fantastic circuit to drive. Is it your favourite circuit on the calendar?
It's one of my favourite. It's about the same as GYG. I enjoy them both.
Well, let's see how you get on today. Very best of luck. And let's cross over to Jake with the grid positions.
Thank you, Tom. Good to hear from Amy Jurga. And as we know, in the senior lights, it's going to be absolutely incredible. Sam Faulkner and Patrick Lay on the front row of the grid. Richard Evans and Steve Yule, Pearce and Hunter, Snape and Welsby, Collins and Hudman. What a top 10, and at Buckmore Park, no less. Keep an eye on Jurga alongside Elliot Stanley on the 6th row. Grigolauskas and Rainbow could be ones to watch. So too could David Darling in 15th position. But Zaromskas and McCulloch are sure to be fireworks from the back of the grid. They'll both be trying to fight their way through. So, ready, set, banzai! Into the first corner, and already it's a great start from Faulkner as he charges through to the first part of the course, and it's a little bit of jostling through the first couple of corners. Surely they can't all get through the first hairpin without incident. They can! No dramas at all. Faulkner leading. Second position is no longer Patrick Lay. It's now Richard Evans who's up to second position. Kieran McCulloch, though, charging through from the back of the grid. Underweight in the pre-final. That's why he started from the back, but he's certainly not going to finish there. Fourth position is kart number 4, Matthew Pearce. He's hanging on to that top 4 for the moment, but the reigning champion, Patrick Lay, is going to charge through from third position at the moment. He hasn't done a full campaign this year, sadly, Patrick Lay, but when he's been here, he's been absolutely monstrous. But it's all about beating the man who's been double junior champion in the last 2 seasons, Faulkner, and now he's going for the senior lights title in his first attempt, by the way. He's getting very close to that mark. He leads the race, he leads the championship. Looks as though he's leading pretty much everything that's got Easykart written on it these days. There is the 9 moving through, that's Manta Jaromskas, trying to work his way through. Kieran McCulloch has already gone past about 7 karts at the moment as Pearce goes up the inside and takes the place on Patrick Lay. So through to third place goes Pearce. So Patrick Lay goes from second on the grid down to 4th place now. What can the reigning champion do about this? Up the inside straight away? No, he can't quite make the move stick. He's had to work very hard to get to that point in the first place. Steve Yule is still there in 5th position, by the way, as we look at Richard Evans' details. Running in 2nd position, doing very well. There is the reigning champion, Patrick Lay. Currently running in 4th position now, behind Pearce and in front of Steve Yule. As the field works its way down Syme Sweep, through Pullmans and up to paddock once again. So much sliding through that part of the course, especially in the early stages of the race when the tyres are not quite up to temperature. You're having to push the car to get heat and energy through the tyres and brakes, and that's when you get the most spectacular looking shots through Syme Sweep and into Pullmans. Now, through Conway's the first corner. Faulkner's already trying to pull away and disappear from the rest of the pack. Second place, still the 7 of Evans, then Pearce, then Lay, then Yule. So through they go. Great battles all the way through this field, as we know. But Pearce is already starting to have a think about second position. Steve Yule running in 5th position in front of Tom Snape in 6th place now, the 157. So he works his way through at the lead of a chasing pack. Oh, that's a hand in the air for the 7. Pearce has gone through in a second. I don't think he likes it. And he's trying to take the law into his own hands. Through Garda. He can't quite get through. Oh, it's getting in a bit of a pressure cooker for second place. Evans clearly didn't like the move made there on him. And he tried to just pop one up the inside at Garda. But it wasn't going to work. He's going to try again. A little bit of nudging. And he's back through. Yule collides with Lay. Oh, it's a disaster for Patrick Lay. Down to the back of the field he goes. All that squabbling, it's put Evans back in a second position. Yule has got away with it. But unfortunately, that's really cost Patrick Lay. Now Jake Welsby is back up through the field. He's up to 5th position now as a courtesy of all of that. So Welsby's come through. Steve Yule's trying to get past Pearce, and I have a feeling there might be some words about that one later between Pearce and Evans. Richard Evans, you're not really supposed to have an argument on the racetrack. You're supposed to wait until the judiciary system comes into practice at the end of the race. You'd have had a case there, I think, but not now. So, out of the first and second hairpins, second position is Evans. But thank you very much, says Sam Faulkner. He's disappeared into the distance. You might not see him again now, lads. So through they come once again. And second position again, Pierce is having a look at a very wide-running Evans, although back into second position. Now, I noticed that Pierce actually took a lot of curb on the way through Pullman's, so maybe there might be a bit of a discussion about that one later. He used a lot of the red and white curb on the far side. Evans is not going to be happy. Through the second he's gone. Snape is now up to fourth position, having got past Welsby. And look at Pierce, he's defending at this early stage, and that's going to let Evans get back through. Arm in the air, what are you doing? Touring cars in karting form, look at this. And again, Evans puts his hand in the air. Come on, guys, this is fisticuffs. This isn't karting anymore. Have a look at this. This is getting it to be a bit of a Senna and Prost Banzai duel, these two. We're getting an Easykart rivalry all of our own, and I think that was Evans back up the inside as a nice choice move there in the mid-pack. That's Jonathan Collins making up a place. It's absolute skittles as they go up Herbert Rise. Now, who's going to emerge in second after all of that? It's Evans. Still Pierce is there, then Snape. Welsby's down to sixth place now. I'm struggling to keep up with this. It's up to... That's not Zaromskus, is it? The 9 is right up in there, is it? No, that's Grant Hunter. Sorry, Grant Hunter has popped himself up into the mix, but Zaromskus is not far away, nor is Kieran McCulloch. The 3-plate has got himself right up there too. So all of a sudden, that little contretemps has really given us a bit of a billy-o around the circuit here. Sam Faulkner's disappeared. This is a race for second place now. And it's not a race anymore, it's a right-out war. Here they come, down to Conway's once again. Evans, Pierce, and up to fourth position now. Who's that? That looks like Jay Hudman's come up. Jay Hudman in the 220, I think, is up to fourth position now. So all of that squabbling has put Hudman right into the firing line for a podium. There he is, fourth position, the 220. Then Snape, Hunter, Welsby, and Kieran McCulloch. Kieran McCulloch is in 8th position. Absolutely stunning how he's worked his way through. Just behind them, Patrick Lay is now showing up as 11th position. And behind McCulloch, that looks like Jonathan Collins in the 203. And then behind him, I think that's the 251 of Ami Jurga. So there's still great battling all the way through this field. And let's talk championship ramifications for Kieran McCulloch, now up to 8th position. Don't forget, of course, you're allowed to drop your worst heat, your worst pre-final, and your worst final over the course of the season. So no doubt, Kieran McCulloch is going to drop that pre-final where he was ruled to be underweight. So he's still got a race on his hands here. Up to 8th position, he can still make a big charge in the championship fight. If he can get up to 2nd position behind Sam Faulkner, who's way out in front as a result of all of this battling, it's still a big moment for McCulloch in terms of his championship campaign. And he's right on the back of Grant Hunter. So he is charging for it. One thing you're not going to see from Kieran McCulloch today is a lazy, soporific drive. He's going to be sleeves rolled up, elbows out, and that's Jake Welsby out of the race. Disaster for him. He was right up in the top 6. So that's going to promote McCulloch to 7th position now. So it's already getting heated. Evans 2nd, Pierce, then it's Hudman. We should have Snape, then it is McCulloch right on the back of Hunter. Or has he got through? No, he has got through. So he's up to P6 now. McCulloch is charging. Here we go again, Evans versus Pierce. That was close. Evans decided to back out of the side-by-side move and switch to the other side of Garda and come at him from another angle. These two really squabbling now. And as they come down to Conway's once again, look, Pierce is glued to that inside line. You're not getting past on the inside. And again, they've clearly surrendered the victory. Sam Faulkner's going to get that whatever happens at this stage unless he has a mechanical problem, and that's held up Evans. Through goes Hudman. Does he? He holds it around the outside. No, you don't. Evans hangs on to 3rd position. Jay Hudman in 4th place now. Then it's Snape, then it's McCulloch, then it's Grant Hunter. Absolutely brilliant. And then the side-by-side, Snape goes wide. Hunter's going to get back past McCulloch. McCulloch's going to get on the inside of Snape. Has he got through? Yes. Goodness me, that was close. Ami Jurga's now made the move on. Trying to make the move on Jonathan Collins. Patrick Lay's in with as well. Here goes Collins to the inside of Snape. Can't get through. Ami Jurga just in front of Patrick Lay as they squabble away for position now. second position. There's nearly a dozen karts in this fight. Pearce now second, Evans third, Hudman. Then it is Hunter in front of McCulloch now. Snape has dropped back, but he's managed to hold the place in front of Collins, Jurga and Patrick Lay. Anybody in this fight for second position can still take it. We've got just over 5 minutes on the clock. There's Sam Faulkner. He's on for a drive in the countryside on a sunny Sunday afternoon. These guys, it's a battle royale. Here comes Evans again having a look at Pearce. That just shows you what a battle can do. Sam Faulkner just given the opportunity to disappear out in front. There we go. We talked about it earlier on. There's Kieran McCulloch, excluded from the pre-final for being underweight, but now that he's in 6th position, he's got a great chance to make big points in the championship fight. Oh, big slide from Evans and Pearce. Pearce getting very wide through Syme's sweep. Evans has got a great chance. Pearce is defending, but he's going to hold up Evans on the way through Garda by being in the right place at the right time, and that's going to back up the entire field in that little squabble. Up the hill once again through Herbert Rice. Pearce glued to the inside line. He's defending big style here. He knows that he can't catch Faulkner. 4 minutes and 21 on the clock. He's given up any hope of the victory. He just wants second now. As again, McCulloch tries for the inside of Grant Hunter. Sweet move. That was beautiful from McCulloch, and that puts him up in a 5th position now. That's the highest he's been in this race. Grigolauskas and Steve Yule are getting back into this fight a little earlier. I think I just saw the arm go up for Evans. I think is Evans pulling off? Yes, he is! Evans is pulled off the racetrack! Unbelievable! Richard Evans is out of this race! Wow, that puts a real spanner in the works. So that basically gives second position unchallenged for the moment to Matthew Pearce. So now 3rd position becomes Titanic. McCulloch is up to 4th now. Talk about a comeback from heaven. Now he's going for 3rd. Thank you very much. McCulloch is through into the podium. Wow. How on earth has he managed to do that from the back of the grid to 3rd position? Kieran McCulloch will not be defeated. And now he's got to catch up to Pearce. He's got to hope that the likes of Hudman, Hunter and Snape behind him will help him get further forward. Collins is in there as well in, what's that going to be now, 7th position. 8th is Jurgen, 9th is Lay, then it's Matas Grigolauskas, and behind him is Steve Yule. What happened to Steve Yule? He was in the top 4 at one point. He's now down in 11th. I think he just got caught out in the middle of the scrap and has now had to slide himself into the battle at the back of the queue. So still they battle on without Richard Evans. That's going to be some talking point later on. Kieran McCulloch getting away from Jay Hudman as well. I didn't think he'd be pulling away that quickly, but look, he's pulled out a good 7 or 8 kart lengths on him already. So closing up on Pearce. Pearce looks back. I've got a big gap behind me. I don't think you will have for long though, not with Kieran McCulloch in the mood he's in now. 2.5 on the clock, up Herbert Rise, through Cafe, and McCulloch is going after 2nd place. Faulkner's got this one a long way out in front. This is starting to be very reminiscent of the French Grand Prix in '79 at Dijon. Nobody even remembers really that Jean-Pierre Jabouille won that race because it was all about the battle behind him, and pretty much everybody forgot when he crossed the line in the lead. Oh yes, he was leading. Very similar for that for Sam Faulkner now. 2 minutes left. Syme sweep, Pullmans. They fly through. Very close quarters racing. McCulloch dropping Jay Hudman. Grant Hunter having to hold on in front of Snape. Collins still there in 7th position in front of Ami Jurga. Patrick Lay trying to hang on there too. Grigolauskas and Yule close quarters. But over the line with less than 2 to go. 2 minutes that is, not 2 laps. Out of the final couple of corners of the lap, Hunter looked pretty shaky, but now he's picking it up again in the first part of the lap. Grant Hunter copes well out of the 2nd hairpin, up through the S's. Hudman in front of him, Snape behind him, Jonathan Collins not far away from them. Look how much ground McCulloch is making up. He's almost on the bumper of Matthew Pearce, and Pearce knows it. He looks behind him, and all of a sudden his world has just become very intense again. He thought, having dealt with Evans, right, this is going to be plain sailing to the finish. Not on your life, mate. Across the line, just over a minute to go, and he knows that McCulloch is going to be throwing everything at him over these last few laps. So Hunter again, trying to get away from Snape, closing up on Jay Hudman if he can. Battle for 4th position. McCulloch is starting to look at him, and up the inside goes Hunter on Hudman. Snape could get through as well. Yes, he does. Hudman loses 2 positions in almost the time it takes him to say it. McCulloch is right on the back of Pearce now for 2nd position. Great battling, and again Pearce defends. Matthew Pearce is defending like crazy as McCulloch looks for the switchback out of Garda. Can't quite get it there, but with 2 laps to go at the end of this one, he's running out of time, Matthew Pearce, to keep McCulloch at bay. If McCulloch could get second place, and he is going to try around the outside, he's not quite going to make it. Hunter, meanwhile, is trying to get away from Snape and Hudman. McCulloch has another look on the outside of our second place man. Pearce, they're side by side. He has to tuck back in. Kieran McCulloch, I thought it was going to be boring after Evans retired. No siree. Out through Simon Sweet, through Pullmans, and up to Paddock once again. What can McCulloch do on Pearce? Pearce again defends. He doesn't need to. He's losing so much time on McCulloch. If he just looked back, he realised he wouldn't need to defend on that corner. He's cost himself time he didn't need to lose. Into the final lap goes Sam Faulkner, and it's all about second place. Pearce again defends from McCulloch. What can McCulloch do? Out of Henry's, up to the first hairpin. McCulloch is the fastest man on the track. Nearly 2/10 quicker than our leader, Sam Faulkner, but Faulkner's not needed to push. McCulloch tries. Hunter's giving him a bit of a nudge down the straight. Hunter can't quite overhaul him. It's all going to be about the bottom end of the circuit now. Through Simon Sweet, through Pullmans. McCulloch's a little bit too far back, but he could lose that final step on the podium to Hunter. Pearce defends. You don't need to. You're going to lose time. Sam Faulkner is going to come through to take the victory. He does so. Who's going to get second? I think it's just going to be Matthew Pearce. Over the line, as close as that in the top 6. But as you'll see, the man who crosses the line second, Matthew Pearce, has been docked 2 places by Nicky Richardson. Clearly part of that incident with him and Richard Evans earlier on. So that promotes McCulloch to second position in front of Grant Hunter. Pearce is registered as 4th in front of Snape, Hudman, Lay, Collins, Jurga and Grigolauskas. And it really was as close as that from 2nd down to 10th over the line. Sam Faulkner, though, he just disappeared. Where did he go?
Now, I was watching the first few laps of the race, but then I sort of turned away, and then all of a sudden, you'd gone. You'd blissed it. What, did something happen behind you, or was it just your pace? Tell me about it.
I don't know. I think there was a train behind me, and then a few laps later, there was no one for a good 10 kart lengths, so I'm not sure what happened, really. It's just a gap.
Yeah, not sure what happened. I'll tell you what, I mean, there was an amazing battle going on behind you, and I think that's what it was. The fact that they were all, passing, and Matt Pearce and Richard Evans were just passing each other lap on lap at one point, and that was obviously slowing them down with their racing. That backed up the rest of the grid and just allowed you to get away. So a very comfortable win for you, Sam, in the end. Really not much more to talk about. But where does that put you in the championship? Do you want to help me out with the maths?
Not sure, really. I'm not with the heat because we came 3rd. I'm not sure now what's happened in the championship, but I think we're 12 ahead going into it, so I'm not sure.
Okay, fair enough. All right, well, listen, we're going to have a look at the stats. Obviously, it's all up live on the website already, so we'll look at that. But that certainly brings it to, I think it's going to go to the final round at Wilton Mill. You going to be there?
Yeah, definitely.
And tell me about Wilton Mill. One of your favourites?
I don't mind it. Not really favourite, but don't really hate it either, so...
No, you're not. You don't mind much at all, do you, Sam? You're quite a calm, collective character, aren't you? Listen, congratulations, mate. Well done indeed for your race win here. Sam Faulkner, everybody.
So the championship fight goes down to Wilton Mill between Sam Faulkner and Kieran McCulloch, and it will be incredibly close. 3rd position up for grabs too, with Hunter, Evans, Pearce and Snape covered by only a handful of points each. Part 4, action for the Masters next.